May 2018, Israeli F-35s do something no American pilot has ever been authorized to attempt. They penetrate Syrian airspace, protected by Russian S-400 systems, strike Iranian targets, and vanish before anyone knows they were there. The mission proves successful because these aren't standard American F-35s. They're modified in ways the Pentagon would never allow its own pilots to fly. Israel operates outside the rules that govern every other F-35 nation on Earth, and that independence has led to combat operations the United States military simply cannot replicate. What you're about to discover reveals how one nation took America's most advanced fighter jet and used it in ways the Pentagon never imagined. Israel didn't just become the first country to fly F-35s in combat. They became the first to operate them completely independently, without American oversight, without centralized logistics, without permission for every modification. While American F-35s sit grounded due to parts shortages and maintenance backlogs, Israeli jets maintain readiness rates the U.S. Air Force can only dream about. They've flown over 15,000 combat hours, hit targets from Yemen to Iran, operated in beast mode with external weapons, all because they negotiated something no other ally possesses: total operational freedom. If you want to see how military alliances really work behind closed doors, type yes in the comments. What comes next shows why Israel's F-35 program is unlike anything else in the world.
Every F-35 operator except Israel depends on something called ALIS, the Autonomic Logistics Information System. This is the centralized computer network managed in Fort Worth, Texas by Lockheed Martin that controls maintenance, mission planning, and logistics for the entire global F-35 fleet. Every software update, every mission data file, every maintenance action flows through this American-controlled system. Israel looked at this setup and said, absolutely not. They understood ALIS was designed for countries that don't have missiles falling on them. During intense combat operations, when you need maximum sortie rates, it becomes a liability. Israel negotiated the impossible. They're the only F-35 operator on the planet authorized to run a completely independent system. They don't use ALIS. They maintain their own jets at their own bases. They install their own software without asking permission. They integrate their own weapons whenever they want. Total autonomy. The Pentagon initially refused. The F-35 source code is among the most classified technology in American history, but Israel made their case in terms Washington couldn't ignore. Iranian proxies on our borders, Russian air defenses protecting our enemies. We need the ability to adapt our aircraft in real time to survive. After intense negotiations at the highest levels, America agreed to something unprecedented. No other ally received this deal. Not Britain, not Japan, not any of the 9 partner nations who helped develop the aircraft. Only Israel. The practical impact? Massive. While the U.S. Air Force struggles with F-35 readiness rates hovering around 65%, Israel maintains rates above 85%. When American jets need depot-level maintenance, they get shipped to centralized facilities sometimes thousands of miles away. Israeli jets get serviced at Nevatim Air Base with no delays. When the Pentagon wants to integrate a new weapon on U.S. F-35s, the process takes years. Israel installs their own weapons and starts using them in combat within months. This independence enables mission profiles America simply cannot execute with its own F-35s.
July 20th, 2024, a Houthi drone strikes Tel Aviv, killing an Israeli civilian. The attack comes from Yemen, 1,700 kilometers away. That's over 1,000 miles, farther than Washington, D.C. to Miami. Israel decides to respond by sending F-35s. The mission immediately presents problems that would stop most air forces cold. Standard F-35s have a combat range of roughly 700 miles. Yemen is well beyond that. Aerial refueling is possible but risky in hostile airspace. But Israel had prepared for exactly this scenario. They developed conformal fuel tanks specifically for their F-35Is that extend range to 1,700 kilometers without requiring mid-air refueling. The modification maintains stealth because the tanks can be jettisoned before entering defended territory. The strike force launches. F-35Is fly the entire distance to Hodeidah port, strike their targets with precision-guided munitions, and return home safely. Every single aircraft makes it back. The operation marks the first time Israel directly attacked Yemen and demonstrates capabilities the U.S. Air Force cannot match without significant logistical support. American F-35s theoretically could attempt such a mission, but they'd need aerial refueling aircraft positioned dangerously close to enemy territory. They'd need approval from U.S. Central Command. They'd need coordination with regional allies for overflight permissions. The complexity and political complications would likely prevent the mission from happening at all. Israel just launched from their own bases and executed the strike independently. No permissions needed, no complicated logistics, no diplomatic negotiations. The Jerusalem Post compared the operation to Operation Wooden Leg in 1985, when Israeli jets struck PLO headquarters in Tunisia. But the Yemen strike required even more sophisticated capabilities, because Yemen's Houthis possess modern anti-aircraft systems capable of shooting down American drones. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant summed up the strategic message perfectly. Our message is clear. For us, no place is too far. That statement isn't rhetoric. It's a declaration of capability that American F-35s, operating within constraints, cannot match. Here's something most people don't know. Israel became the first nation ever to use F-35s in actual combat. Not America, not Britain, Israel. May 2018, Israeli Air Force Commander Major General Amikam Norkin stands before Air Force commanders from 20 countries and makes a stunning announcement. We are the first in the world to use the F-35 in operational activity. We have attacked twice in the Middle East. He displays a photograph showing an Israeli F-35 flying over Beirut, Lebanon. The message to Hezbollah is unmistakable. We can reach you anytime. Norkin reveals the F-35Is conducted strikes against Iranian targets inside Syria. Iranian forces had established themselves at the T-4 airbase, heavily defended with Russian-supplied air defense systems. Russian S-200 and S-300 batteries protected the area. Russian S-400 systems operated nearby. Israeli F-35Is penetrated these defenses, struck their targets, and departed undetected. Syrian radar operators never saw them coming. Russian systems designed specifically to detect stealth aircraft registered nothing until bombs were already falling. The United States Air Force, despite having more F-35s than anyone else, hadn't conducted a single combat mission with the aircraft by that point. American jets were declared operational and pilots trained, but the U.S. military hadn't committed them to actual combat. Israel had no such hesitation. They received their first F-35Is in December 2016, declared them operational 1 year later, and immediately started using them against real targets in contested airspace. No extended testing periods, no cautious deployment, straight into the fight. Why the difference? Because Israeli F-35Is don't answer to Pentagon bureaucracy. Their commanders assess their own threats, plan their own operations, and execute without outside interference. Former Israeli Air Force Chief Major General Amir Eshel revealed something extraordinary. A single F-35 flight in early 2017 gathered more intelligence than other reconnaissance systems would take weeks to collect. This intelligence gathering capability represents another mission profile America hasn't fully exploited.
March 2025, the Israeli Air Force announces their F-35Is have been flying in beast mode during combat operations. This configuration loads the aircraft with massive external weapons, completely sacrificing stealth for overwhelming firepower. Standard F-35s carry weapons internally to maintain their stealth profile. Up to 5,700 pounds fits in the internal bays, keeping the radar cross-section minimal. Beast mode throws that away. External hardpoints attach under the wings, allowing the aircraft to carry 18,000 pounds of weapons. That's triple the normal loadout. But hanging bombs externally makes the jet visible on radar. Most F-35 operators would never consider this trade-off. Israel saw it differently. Sometimes you need stealth to penetrate defenses. Other times, after defenses are suppressed, you need maximum destructive power. Israeli F-35Is became the first and only variant worldwide to conduct strikes with external weapons in actual combat. American F-35s possess the capability theoretically, but U.S. doctrine doesn't employ it. The Pentagon views the F-35 as a stealth platform first. Israel's approach is more flexible. Use the F-35I's stealth to get through defenses, then, once air defenses are neutralized, load up with external weapons and deliver devastating firepower. The jet transitions from stealth penetrator to heavy bomber within the same operation. Against weak defenses, fly in beast mode from the start. Against moderate defenses, use stealth initially, then transition. Against advanced defenses, maintain stealth throughout. The flexibility is unprecedented. American pilots can't replicate this because they don't have the same freedom to innovate. U.S. tactics development goes through formal testing processes taking years. Israel develops new tactics in combat and refines them in real time. The numbers tell the story. Israeli F-35Is have logged over 15,000 combat flight hours. American F-35s, despite being far more numerous, have logged far fewer combat hours. Combat experience drives innovation.
So why doesn't America just copy Israel's approach? The answer comes down to scale and doctrine. The United States operates over 400 F-35s across 3 service branches, with plans for eventually fielding more than 2,000 aircraft. Managing that fleet requires standardization. Every jet needs to work the same way. The logistics system needs to support aircraft operating on 6 continents simultaneously. Israel operates 46 F-35Is at one airbase. All their combat operations happen within 2,000 kilometers from home. They don't need global logistics infrastructure. They maintain a small, highly specialized fleet optimized for their specific threat environment. American F-35s are designed for global power projection. They need to operate from aircraft carriers, from forward bases, from allied airfields anywhere. That requires centralized control. Israeli F-35Is are designed for regional dominance. They operate from hardened shelters at Nevatim Air Base, with complete maintenance facilities on site. Everything they need is right there. No complex supply chains. Total self-sufficiency. When Israel wanted independence from Ailis, they negotiated directly with the highest levels of American government. The request came with strategic justification. Israel faces existential threats. Their survival depends on air superiority. No other ally can make that argument with the same weight. Britain doesn't face enemies on its borders threatening national survival. Only Israel combines immediate threat proximity with the political relationship necessary to secure unprecedented concessions from Washington. The result is a partnership where both sides benefit. America gains combat-proven data from Israeli operations. Every mission provides lessons American pilots can learn from. Every modification gets evaluated for potential use across the broader F-35 fleet. Israel gains the freedom to defend itself using the best technology available without waiting for American approval. That independence is priceless when enemies actively seek your destruction. Looking forward, Israeli F-35I capabilities will only expand. They're receiving additional aircraft with upgraded software. By 2030, the fleet reaches 75 aircraft, a substantial force for their region. More importantly, Israel continues developing new capabilities. The Yemen strikes demonstrated extreme range. The beast mode operations showed tactical flexibility. Future developments will push boundaries even further. Israeli F-35I operations have fundamentally changed how regional adversaries think about air defense. Iran spent billions on Russian systems designed to detect and defeat stealth aircraft. None of it worked. Israeli jets penetrated their airspace repeatedly without losses. That psychological impact matters as much as physical destruction. When your most sophisticated defenses prove useless, your options become limited. Israeli air superiority becomes absolute through technological dominance. This creates deterrence that conventional forces can't achieve. Israel doesn't need to threaten. The capability speaks for itself. Every enemy understands Israeli F-35Is can reach them anytime. That knowledge prevents conflicts before they start. American F-35s contribute to global deterrence through presence and power. Israeli F-35Is provide regional deterrence through demonstrated combat effectiveness and operational freedom, different tools for different strategic requirements.